screen and be done with it.
Let me see if there is. I swear there was something
There's
about
got to
that
be
on the
something like that
DMs.
somewhere. I mean,
Oh, let me check.
there's one of those more important things. Okay. Twitch feed is up and running. Yep. Anyone else get stuff from Humble Bundle?
I remember getting something from there once. I believe it was Shovel Knight.
Cool.
Excuse me. Let me talk to my friend real quick.
All right. Bye bye, stapler. And then on the floor.
Okay, I found the treasure thing that you were looking for. If you're on the systemreferencedocuments.org DM screen, on the left there should be a little like list, and at the bottom the treasure, and that'll
Okay.
have all the treasure info.
That'll come in handy. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
This new DM screen that I made is pretty good. It's useful. Yeah, I prefer, like, I always copy down stats of the standard monsters the campaign is going to run into, just so that I don't have to keep flipping through the monster guide to find them.
If you don't like the treasure guide from the SRD, there's a bigger list if you like having more variety to give to the players. But this is probably simpler, like for starting off, and I would recommend this one for now at least. But
I just want to make sure people, aren't going to get super rich, but at the same time that they have money enough to, buy potions, buy stuff that they need for their journey, plus have some stuff that they can sock away for, buying a really neat magical item or, good piece of armor, that sort of thing.
I like that idea. We'll probably get a good bit of money if it's only going to be me and Cujo this time too.
Mm-hmm.
Less people, more money to split between us, huh? Sound good, Mr. Rogue? You like money?
Yes.
Good, we're gonna get the money.
And you'll probably be less tempted to steal from the townsfolk. I said probably. I didn't say that would necessarily happen that way, but there we go. Got all that set up. What do you think?
Okay.
Should we give them a
You're
couple more minutes to show up, or should I or should I get on with it now?
you're the DM. It's your call.
I think I'll give them 5 more minutes so I can print out this little thing here, and then if nobody else has shown up, I'll get started on the description. They can always catch up.
All right.
For for profession, can I choose detective?
Yes, totally.
Sure. A detective
That's
that's a trained rogue, huh?
what?
He wants to be an undercover cop.
Honestly,
Please don't arrest me.
well, I would think that either undercover or easily corruptible cop.
Maybe both.
Well, that is true. Description with scores. What's this?
Yeah.
Ability modifiers. Nice. So do you guys just play F 3.5? Or do you guys get into 5.0 at all?
I'm not a fan of 5 at all, but I was somewhat interested in 4th edition a bit.
Yeah, I do have 4th edition. I just haven't really used my stuff for it yet.
Hmm.
I mean, I've had the books for years because I had one of those things of just collecting books. It happens, you know. You see all this stuff and you just start buying it.
Yeah, Steam sales.
Oh, and there's that. Yeah. Oh, I've got like 700 games, something like that, on Steam alone.
Oh, oh boy.
I think I've only played half of them. Oh, speaking of which, are either of you playing the Division next week?
No,
No, I don't have money.
me neither.
That's the only benefit of working 10-hour days. 5 days, at least 5 days a week. You have enough money to buy to buy a DM, you know, to buy D&D swag plus a copy of Tom Clancy's The Division. On the negative side, you barely have time to play with them. You're sitting there at your desk all day.
Gotta find a balance.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Found a good reference document for treasure. I think it's the same one you're pointing me at, but I was like taking a little time.
Oh no, that's fine.
Probably also open up my Roll20 thing just to see if there's any messages left from the other people. Because I know one of them that was wanting to play in here can't because he's been going back and forth to the hospital. What you guys said you were talking to them?
Yeah, I did talk to him a bit.
Why does
He
it keep
seemed,
not
like
seeing the printer?
Oh, what happened?
Oh, nothing. I'm yelling at my computer. My printer's so old it doesn't really respond well to Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard from that guy and I've heard from Alexis. So what about Joseph? Anyone heard from Joseph?
No, I mean, last I heard from him was I believe a day ago, or was it maybe 2, when I was helping him with his character a bit, and then I realized, I can't really show him some of these things because Complete Divine is off limits.
Sorry, what?
Oh, it's just I was gonna help him with his character a bit, and I was gonna show him some stuff from Complete Divine, but that was off limits, so
yeah, sorry
we
about
didn't
that.
talk after that.
I said that's only going to be for this adventure because I figured that all the starting stuff is going to be in the core 3 books plus some extra stuff for if you want to play extra different race, different class than what the core book has. Eberron has, for example, the golem things. Names I'm forgetting at the moment. But I wanted to make those things available. But for a lot of other skills and feats that exist
and like spells and stuff.
Yeah, I figured those things aren't going to be necessary at level 1. They're going to be things that you want to learn, in later levels that. I hate this printer sometimes. It doesn't. I'm just gonna use the book for it. Forget about it. Anyway.
Yeah, don't worry. I can totally theater of the mind.
Yeah. I figured that I know enough of it that I can muddle through those things. All the good information that I need is the basically the spot checks and everything like that are necessary for moving forward in a campaign. Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna try to, when it comes to actually wandering around any place important, I'm gonna make sure that while you guys get to do spot checks and listen checks anytime you want, basically on you for when you're active listening, I'm probably also going to be doing some private rolls to see if you accidentally hear something, something that you aren't going to be searching for, but maybe you hear a sound far away and can decide what you want to do from there, that sort of thing.
Do you need my spot and listen?
Yes, basically. Sorry, I meant to say.
Okay. For me, it should be a +1 on both spot and listen, but that's only when my snake is on me. I have alertness when he's on me. But should everything go well, he should never be away from me.
Yeah, hopefully that. I like that snake. What about you, Cujo?
Both +5s.
Wow. So you've got really keen senses.
Yeah,
I mean, he'd
put
have
right-
to be. He has
Which
to
means
for a
you're
cop.
likely to
You've got to be
hear
able to see
something
those.
moving around. Let's say when you're in a dungeon, cave, ruins, anything like that, moving around. A couple, another room or so away, quite easily. If I roll and discover that that thing's moving over there, Cujo's probably going to hear it.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure about that. When you're active listening or active spotting, that's when you might see something interesting or shiny laying on the ground. But when I'm doing some random rolls, that's when you're being you have no idea what it might be that's trying to attract your attention, or that might just be hearing that annoying buzzing noise. And any of you guys have keen enough hearing to hear those annoying buzzing noises? From lights and such.
And what about search? Because I know that's also used for finding specific things. Is that?
Yeah,
How
then
would we
there's
use that?
search. Like, there's always going to be chances of, specific items that I have set up in certain areas, and then there's the possibility of, okay, you just randomly found treasure I didn't realize it was there because I rolled something that said there's treasure there that you've now found it. And you can always pick up random items that could be used for crafting later. Or that, of course, look
Ooh.
innocuous, I hate when words don't trip off the tongue. That look like they're just nothing, but turn out to be
Inconspicuous?
that could be a good word for it. But turn out to be a very important artifact that somebody's been searching for. Who knows?
Okay. I have +8 to craft poison making, so that'll be useful if I find any poisonous plants or stuff I can craft with.
Yes, exactly. Like you can probably do. I want to say several times a day, or probably more likely while you're making camp for the night. I'll definitely give you a license to search around and see how much you can pick up while you're there.
Oh.
Like if you're away from, you see the roads from Fire Down. Like if you're off the road or on the road instead of in Fire Down itself, you can search around. While you're in the city, I doubt you're going to be able to find any poisonous plants. But when you're out on the plains, or in the wood, or if you wander into the woods for some reason, then there's a good chance you might find something.
All right, that's very nice.
Also, we might be getting somebody. Hold on. The Twitch person just suddenly came in, saw. 3.5. Do you have room? So I'm sending them the information. Hold on, I think I've got a better way of linking that to them. There we go.
Are we getting a brand new player?
We might be. If so, I'll have them make their character sheet up on the fly. If not, they can just wander in and take stock of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll give them a minute to see.
Z.
Oh, is this them?
I'm gonna say yes, since the one in the room.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome.
Hey.
Do you already have a level
Can you hear me?
one or so character? Yeah, I can hear you, sort of.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes. You might want to mute Twitch.
Yeah.
I always find it weird when I'm hearing my voice, but even when I'm sitting in YouTube editing videos that I've done from Twitch,
You
it's
have a
like,
lovely voice.
thanks. But I also happen to sound a lot like my mother.
Uh, don't we all?
I guess. But it's
I
just,
hope not.
well, I guess if I was a boy, I'd probably sound like my dad. But,
I still hope not.
Well, if I could ask, what did you ask me earlier right now?
oh, do you have a level 1 character already made? Since this is an entry adventure, I'm basically asking if everybody can start with a level 1 character. I have a list of the books I'm allowing to be used for the creation of the level 1 character, which includes the standard core books, plus Eberron, Forgotten Realms, Draconomicon, Races of Destiny, and the Psionics Handbook.
I did have one, but I don't know if you would allow it though.
What kind of character?
It was a lich.
For this adventure,
that-
no, because the
Ouch.
Lich would be immediately attacked and destroyed. But
We,
since if
the
if you want to
Minotaurs
use
here
the
don't
Lich
like
for,
undead.
for an adventure after the players get out of Hellspring, then you're I'm all for it. But this adventure in particular is called Skeleton Army, where really the undead are a big problem here. A Lich would be immediately noticed.
Is your lich friendly?
Yeah. My lich is friendly. It does know from right from wrong, and the only reason why it knows is because it got its will freeing. Because the lich king that it was serving got basically was killed
Oh.
by a dry lich.
Nice. For this adventure, I cannot accept the Lich only because they would basically be considered the enemy by the Minotaurs that are about to hire this party to investigate the undead that are attacking. But I would definitely love to have a Lich in the party, for after this particular adventure. So
Would
basically,
it be okay if, like, when they went to go investigate, would the Minotaurs be with them?
the Minotaurs will not be with them outside of the city, but I'm not sure if the party is planning on staying in the city for this particular session, or if they're already, after they get their orders, are going to go outside the city to investigate. That'll be completely up to Maldus and Cujo here.
Because well, I don't mean to plan ahead or anything. It's just that if my character could be at that location where they're going to.
It would be an interesting way of dealing with things.
We were starting on a boat that was traveling to Hellspring.
Yeah, but I was gonna basically start the adventure by quickly telling you, saying what happened after the boat, and start you off in the throne room, meeting the king for the first time, because that was that's the plan of the start of the adventure. I mean, because after that, you can decide where you want to go in the city, if you want to leave the city, start investigating outside the city. There's basically, I've got a whole bunch of different paths that you can take to solve the mystery, so you don't actually need to stay or go anywhere. You can just basically decide how you want to play it. And of course, you could also come up with a new solution, which is what the last couple people did.
Oh yeah, since this is 3.5, you mind me sending you guys a link? It has like all the books and all that. If you guys want it. And all you just need to do is click it, and then boom, there's the manual, character sheet.
Can confused by the request because I've got all I listed all the books that I have access to that I'm using for this.
It's just that if I didn't if I didn't have it,
You mean you need the PDFs?
partly.
Ah, okay. Yeah, see that we can
I can
do.
get those.
No, I thought you were saying if you were sending us the link, and that's why it was confusing me.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just easily confused at times. Don't
I
mind
was
me.
too.
Oh, I thought Meldis had the link to that. Sorry.
Oh, you want me to post a link to some of the
Yeah,
books?
because I don't have I don't actually have the PDF information. I just have the actual physical books. I thought you were the
All
one
right,
that
which ones do you need?
Was actually listed. Yeah.
Do you need the player's handbook?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you played 3.5 before?
I played partly of it where I was able to make a dry lich, but let's just say it didn't end too well.
Oh. All right. Posting player's handbook here. Do you need the monsters manual? Actually, you probably don't need that one unless you're planning on playing a monstrous race.
If I still wanted to know if I could play my lich or
are you guys going to be thinking you're going to be sticking around the city for this, or are you going to wait and reserve judgment until after you've been told your assignment, basically?
Oh, I'm not planning on anything until I know what we're supposed to do. Gotta have all the info.
So there's no guarantee you're going to be able to. They're going to encounter you today because as long as they're inside the city, running into a lich, the lich would probably be noticed and attacked by guards and everything else outside the city, somewhere in the wilderness. Maybe you'd be safe.
yeah, that's where my character. I was thinking of having my character just reside there for safety.
I've got Races of Destiny down. Let's see here. And I'm going to be pasting the Draconomicon in now. Alright, those are the most easy ones to access. You can probably make a character pretty easily with just the player's handbook, though.
Hmm.
If you need any help, I'd be happy to assist.
What class is your lich,
I've been
by the
trying
way?
to help everyone.
Are they just a wizard with necromancy, or do they get turned some other way?
How what happened with mine is that it was also a curse at the same time.
Okay. So
It was
what's your
turned with It was turned with necromancy but before that it was much easier for the whole entire family that was cursed by a dry lich.
okay? That's why you were serving the Lich King.
Yeah, because our will was taken away because of the dry lich curse.
But what class were you is what the DM was asking.
Oh. It was just a standard mage.
But like wizard or
sorcery,
sorcerer?
warlock. Well, wait a minute. Was warlock available in 3.5? Am I just thinking of the 5.0?
It is. Warlock's available. You could also be a cleric even. There's evil clerics. but I'm just wondering what kind of spellcaster, because there's a lot in 3.5.
Well, under a curse, you're not necessarily good or evil, regardless of whatever actions you're doing. So they don't necessarily have to be an evil cleric if they're playing cleric at all. As a spellcaster.
That's a funny one for the way the monster guide says about the lich. So it's kind of an interesting.
House rules. If you didn't become a lich out of your own choice, you're not necessarily evil. If lichdom is bestowed by a curse, you could easily be a good person, but you're stuck in this state. But you
I'm
just
down
have to
for
figure
that.
out how you're dealing with that. It's up to the character to decide that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it also would leave scars on the person too, mentally wise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just like what am I thinking of? Any of you guys ever read the book or seen the movie of Warm Bodies?
Yeah.
No.
Because the zombies in there, while they ate brains, went after people, they were in a state of semi-sentience. Their sentience hadn't completely fled them, to the point where they started coming back and relearning morals again. In the book, this is actually more clear. In the movie, you kind of just see it through R's eyes for a while, and then M and company.
Mhm.
On the books,
It was a cute
the
movie.
Bonies were clearly far more sentient and seemed to be semi-evil.
Because they went that far and
Because they were
they
stalking
were
after
all.
humans, but at the same time, they didn't seem to be horrible towards the zombies. So that kind of makes them semi-evil. They might just, it's just hard to apply, good and evil to such things. Although I guess in the D&D universe, they'd probably be considered evil, where the zombies would probably be considered more chaotic neutral.
Mhm. And
The humans would be
I
both. Sorry, go on.
I was just asking. I forgot what. I know the necromancy magic, but it was also that my character was using too.
Okay, so your character at least has one level of wizard in the necromancy school.
Yeah. But I don't know what it'll be classified under fully.
Wizard. Well, necromancy school's under wizard. We went through this with Maldus earlier, last week.
Mm.
Maldus is a wizard in the necromancy school. Table. Actually, need dinosaurs for this adventure. Dinosaurs can be back over there.
I didn't know halflings were that small.
They're like halfling. They're like about half the size of a normal human.
And then a gnome's taller than them.
Yeah, that is a good question. Where's your character's phylactery? Sorry, I have a hard time pronouncing that word.
Phylactery?
Yeah.
Phylactery, yes.
Does your character have have it on them? Is it held in a castle somewhere? Do you know where it is?
My character has it with them.
Okay, so which means that it's possible for the lich to be destroyed quite easily if attacked, because they do have it on there. It's not an invulnerable piece of something. They're basically almost as mortal as anyone else, depending.
Hmm.
But with a special bonus of, if they are killed, the attacker would have to then search the body for the phylactery and destroy the phylactery. If the phylactery is stolen from them and run away, then it's possible for them to rise again if they've been killed at that point.
If I remember correctly, once liches are like killed, don't they disintegrate So
Yes.
if you're holding your phylactery, the only thing that would be left is a pile of dust in a phylactery.
That's a
And
good point.
clothes and other stuff.
Oh, the clothes survive too?
Yeah.
All your
The
equipment.
robe.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine just the body disturbing, because I always find it disturbing. You know, I watch a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I always found it, you know, just shaking my head at the fact that the bodies disintegrate too, and yet the steak doesn't. I mean, if the things are going to completely disintegrate like that, then the steak should disintegrate along with the bodies, and the
Yeah.
clothes, and everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with only the body would disintegrate, the clothes and anything on the on a lich would survive.
Sounds reasonable.
And that the phylactery is probably not going to be destroyed just by simple means, but actually have to be found and physically attacked. It wouldn't be easy to you know, say damage the lich, and in the middle of combat the phylactery gets destroyed, that sort of thing.
Pretty sure the phylacteries tend to be very durable anyway. I
Yeah.
think they're like an adamantine box or something.
I always picture them
Very
as a
hard.
vial of blood, but I think that's because I play Dragon Age.
Oh, well, Z, what kind of character did you want to play for this adventure?
Well, it was a lich if I was able to. If not,
I would love to see the lich, but after this game if possible, simply because trying to deal with the lich in Hellspring itself, you know, in the area of Hellspring itself would be extremely difficult given the nature of of this particular adventure. But afterwards, oh, I'd love to see what a lich can do in a party.
as to say, they'll have bonus wills.
hmm
Also, immunity to anything affecting your mind, very strong.
You know that you've won your mind back from the other one, from the Draco Lich, and then question: would the Draco Lich have to hold on to your phylactery to keep you in control, or was it just a spell in general over your character that made the
It will have to control the it will first have to find the markings
okay.
and override them on the body.
The other
Or on the
the only
bow.
reason I asked is because considering the undead nature of the events going on in Hellspring, I was wondering if you would wind up being under control of it again, like if you'd wandered into the area and suddenly gotten taken control of by something, or if that's just not possible anymore because the control was broken completely. I was just
They
curious.
will have to override the markings on the bones, which will be on the body. So they'll have to get in close range to my lich.
Okay, so
And then they'll
I'd
also
probably
have to
go
get
with
the phylactery too.
I'd probably go with no. That's not going to be the case here.
Yeah.
Whoa!
You okay?
Yo. Oh wait,
Yeah.
it's my cousin. There he is. Yo.
But this other one,
Delta.
I don't know if you would allow it. It'll be like a partly like a brood mother.
Oh,
How much have I missed?
what?
You missed everything. The adventure's over.
Okay, great.
No, we said to wait a
I'm
minute
back.
to see if the cleric was going to show up, and while we were waiting, a new person you said that was, you know, came up on Twitch and said, "Oh, this looks like a new room," and we're like, "We're sitting here because we're missing somebody." Yes, we could use another person.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that works.
Meet
The other
Caltop, who's playing a
character-
pixie.
Yes,
Another
I am a
character.
pixie.
You will fly with the wind.
He's a deformed lamp pixie.
See this picture here?
Hey.
This supposedly is Caltop.
Layoff.
You can't see. Oh my god, what is that?
That's
It's
me,
the
my
hideous
beautiful body.
deformed
It's
thing.
the flying lamp gremlin.
It is the flying lamp.
What I was thinking of my another character, if you would allow it, was like a spider brood mother.
A spider. What book would that be in?
Probably Drow of the Underdark.
I don't
Probably
have
Drider.
for this adventure. I'm only accepting races from books that I have current access to. Monster Guide, for example, Eberron, Fulgarten Realm, Straconomicon.
if you're looking for something kind of different, you can still find those in those books. But there's all sorts of fun things you can
Like
do with
a
the
drow,
cleric
for
thing.
example. If you wanted to play a drow, that is acceptable. You would be you'd be
Yeah.
looked on oddly, but it would still be acceptable. And don't drow sometimes
Find all the
mutate into
races.
Drider or something like that, and spider-like or
The
something else.
Drider,
Where can
Driders
I
are.
find all the races on the handbook?
I've always thought the look of Driders was neat, but you can't really do anything with them. Not easily, anyway.
Yeah. It's OP. I think Driders are like CR5 or something or 6.
That is true. But you wouldn't run into them in this adventure anyway.
Hmm. I'm trying to find all of them.
If you want to just play like a temporary character, like the standard already pre-made cleric or fighter or barbarian type, like something that the party could use until the end of the adventure, and then switch over to your lich.
Uh,
That would be kind of cool.
I'll do the cleric.
We could use cleric.
I'll do the standard cleric.
I don't need healing. You can't even damage me.
I hate you.
Without cold iron.
And not even the real world cold rolled iron, which I see all the
Stupid
time.
damage resistance can't bonk you.
Nope.
All we need is a fly swatter.
Unless
You're gonna need
I don't
like
think
a +1 greater fly swatter.
Yeah. I don't think they make cold dying fly swatters.
Oh, I
They will
imagine
now.
somebody did in this type of world where
I'll
there's
do the
things like
standard
pixies.
cleric. For now, for temporary.
Okay.
Caltop, are you still up in my sleeve?
I'm nowhere to be found.
He's in your anus.
All right.
That too.
Oh, okay.
So Z, what sort of what did you have a character name and look? The character probably hasn't met the other one, the other Maldus or Cujo, and Caltop of course just kind of comes and goes where he pleases. But you probably may have seen them on the ship. You may not have, but you probably will all run into each other on the docks, which is the entry point. Which is hold on. I'll show
Wait,
my
wait.
little
What was a healer? I forgot what they're called. Aren't they called clerics?
clerics. Yep.
You don't have to play as a healer. You can be a support buffer if you want.
A little port right there. You see that?
Oh, that port.
Yeah, that's what the port is. There the level. There we go.
Do you want me to try sending a message to Joseph real quick to see what the deal was today?
It's okay. Now, if you
Okay.
want to send a message, it's fine. But as long as we have somebody that's either healing or doing lots of damage, we're good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a full heal cleric, and if you want how she looks, that could be it.
What god do you worship?
Ooh, cool. The standard
Am I?
cleric. We could always use one of those.
I like that.
And then what god?
Yeah, but that's the only bad thing about clerics. They definitely need worship. They really should have just a standard magical healer class that uses magic instead of divinity. Oh,
There is
Yeah.
one that is like a healer pretty bad. All it can do is heal, nothing else.
that's true.
Well,
The
since I'm
divine-
just gonna be
at
a
least
standard
has-
cleric or just temporary, I can be and then just get killed off.
Yeah, yeah. The cleric can just be stabbed through near the end, and the lich comes out later.
That's one way to kill a character off.
Well, I'm just thinking of clerics and people that look like that. All I could think of is Aerith from Final Fantasy VII.
Oh,
She always comes to mind.
or I could have that one like super long, agonizing death, like in Final Fantasy 13, the Lightning Sister.
Yeah. So that's actually 13 too, but I always liked that game. In fact, they put them on sale for Steam, so I decided to pick up Steam copies of them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'll be back in a second.
I'm a
I'll
huge
just
Final
read the
Fantasy
full-
fan, though I didn't care for Final Fantasy Zero or whatever that is. For some
Yeah.
reason, I just didn't like it. I tried playing it, I really didn't like it.
Yeah, it wasn't too interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it looked promising at first. I mean, it kind of reminded me of parts of it reminded the entry really reminded me of an updated version of Final Fantasy IV, which I just finished playing before it came out, and
Oh.
and then it just kind of went, blah, this is boring. Can't even get myself to play it.
Yeah, I'll just be the standard healing one with Node God, so I won't be able to attack or anything.
That's fine, as long as somebody's hanging around to heal people.
Oh, you need medical attention. Let me help you.
As soon as everybody's back, we can get started on the actual adventure itself. I had everybody else do a quick, well, not really a quick thing, a little bit of a getting to know you thing last weekend, where I had the pregame, which was set on this little boat over here,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't really the adventure itself, but it was kind of like, here's where everybody is. Let's see what you guys are going to be doing. And so they sat around. The rogue decided to cheat at cards, and then him and another guy and Maldus over there got into a little tussle, which ended up with Cujo being tied up and nearly being thrown off the ship, which really attracted a lot of guard attention. And then Caltop decided to poison the stew with a bunch of salt.
It's not poisoning, it's adding flavor.
But it was, you threw the entire thing of salt into the stew pot. Nobody can
Flavor.
Deadly flavor. That's what I call it when I put poison in people's food.
Yep.
Flavor.
Are you sure it wasn't bath salt?
Honestly, it could have been both.
I don't think the chef had to.
Excuse me, I need to talk to my friend. He just hit me in the back of the head.
Oh, that's never fun. In the
Looks
back
like
of the
somebody's
head.
going down. Make sure they yell timber.
I did originally have maps that I did longhand for the castle, which we're going to start off in. Unfortunately, my scanner didn't like it very much, and when I tried looking at it, it's like, ugh, this is a complete mess. So I'm going to have to just describe where you're at in the castle and hope that we can, get along with that. I was really hoping to get an actual map. I've got some old scans of maps from other areas. Go ahead.
Quiet, boy! Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys.
It's quite alright.
I have a friend over today, and he's having some computer troubles as well. Boot camp don't work for shit.
So, do you think we're ready to start?
I'm good.
I'm ready.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yes!
Okay. So for those of you who were there last week, you know that you took a 2-week journey on that ship that's up there, from wherever you guys started off from, which I haven't decided on because it's just basically, not important to the story, coming all the way over here to the port in Hellspring. Your reasons have all been your own. Some of you are looking for work, for magic, maybe you're looking for a long lost friend, or just for the hell of it because you got lost on a ship. But for whatever the reason, when you guys got off of the ship, there was a minotaur dressed in robes that was not waiting for you in particular, but after looking around, sized up on all of you. That since maybe you were coming down the ramp at the same time, some of you guys were hanging out, that sort of thing. But he immediately comes over to you and says he's got a job proposition for the king of Hellspring himself. Since you guys are foreigners, that's what he's looking for at the moment. And for whatever reason, each of you has decided to at least hear this guy out and taken a one-day journey down from that port all the way down here to Firedown, which gives you a little bit of an idea of how long you travel from one place to another on this map. I don't have really good scales for traveling. It's just a nice little carriage ride. The carriage itself is big enough to fit about 4 Minotaurs comfortably, so people like you, humans, Pixie especially, you fit fine. You've got plenty of legroom in there. But the only interesting thing you might have noticed on your way down would have been the fact that instead of horses or even small elephants, the riding beasts that are carrying the carriage along are these pygmy rhinos. They're essentially about the same. They're eventually about the same size a horse would be if a human was the size of a minotaur. So clearly, the minotaurs have tamed.
I'm gonna go ride on the rhino. She's gonna fly over to it and just like ride on it.
There's actually a team of them.
I pay this no mind.
What'd you say, Meldus?
I'm just gonna ignore him and get in the carriage.
The carriage ride itself takes only a day. You don't see too much outside the windows of the carriage while you're riding around, or in Caltop's thing, he's actually riding on top of the rhino, who is sort of flickering its ears back and forth and not really paying too much attention to him, since as far as the rhino's concerned, it's just a large bug sitting on him.
Is there anywhere I can, like... Oh, sorry.
John, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was wondering, is it possible to just, like, study my spell book while I'm on the ride?
Sure. It's a large enough
Alright,
cabin for you spread out in. There's no minotaurs inside the cabin with the cabin of the carriage with you. It's just you and the others that are in the party at the moment.
Then I will do that.
You, Cujo,
I'm
Z.
gonna sneak next to him and look at what he's reading.
Are you going to let him sit next to you and read?
Sure. I just prop my feet up and I'm just gonna pay him no mind. He can read as he likes. If he can actually figure out what I'm
Oh
reading.
yeah, that's right. I have to make a decipher script roll.
I am totally just gonna like cast. Give me a
Shit,
second.
what does a 16 get me?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Caltop?
Give me a second. I just need to figure out something.
Cujo's doing spot checks to try and read the Malthus' journal again.
I wonder. My character hasn't been. The healer hasn't been introduced yet.
You can introduce yourself to the others. The others seem to have met on ship, and you've just kind of been pulled along for the ride. Well, there might be one or two other...
Yeah, I'm gonna cast dancing lights in front of Malchus's eyes.
Are you gonna actually
Okay.
roll for the cast, or is it one of those one-shot spells?
It's a spell-like ability. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just like wave my hands and mutter something, and just like he's blinded by these dancing lights in front of his eyes. Because I'm a nice person like that.
So he's like pretty much putting lights right in front of my eyes. I'll close my eyes, I guess.
Would that
Close my
actually-
book.
Would that actually work, or is it a visual illusion that only affects one character?
It doesn't really hurt anybody. It doesn't
No.
give off enough light to blind anyone.
I was just
But
doing
it would definitely...
the thing.
Like
So-
they give off the same amount of light as a torch.
Okay, so dancing lights is visible to everybody. It's not just to Meldus.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not an illusion directed on Maldus. It's a physical change in the environment, so everybody knows it's the dancing lights. Then.
Yes.
And when he closes the spell book, I'm just gonna move them to in front of the rhinos.
Okay. So Z is going to introduce themselves. This little cleric who nobody else has met before.
I'm just gonna stare at them with my beady eyes.
Oh, you see,
I just look over.
I forget what
Can I
what
help
Cujo
you?
looks like, but this one here, that's Maldus.
Yeah, I never picked a picture. Shit.
And this is what Maldus looks like.
Got. Find a random picture online.
If you're kind of staring over at me, I'm probably just gonna kind of turn my head to the side, kind of glare over. Can I help you?
Hey Z, do you have a spot check, by the way? Do you have any plus or minuses to your spots?
For the cleric,
Yeah.
well, the negatives were on the health, but just for the normal thing, just for normal standards of traits and all that.
Yeah. Do you have any modifiers to your spot check?
No.
Okay, you don't see anything odd about Maldus. I was just checking something.
Oh God, should I be worried?
Not if you don't get on my bad side. I mean,
Yes, be very worried.
I'm just gonna smile and then just look forward of where we're going.
I just shake my head and kind of lean back, and I just look over to Cujo. We've got some party, huh?
Yes.
I,
Is that
I
how I'm
put-
supposed to answer?
I just put my arm around your shoulder. Don't worry, we'll be fine.
I start quivering.
Wait, I think somebody dropped.
Oh yeah, Cal.
Don't worry, it's the pixie. The pixie's busy flitting around the rhinos.
The pixie can. He kind of drops on and off, but
Yeah,
his character's so sporadic it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we basically decided that the pixie doesn't have to hear everything. We can always catch him up later. All right, so basically, it takes a full day to get down from the port, which it was fairly more or less morning when you reach the port. It's taken the entire day to get down to Fire. Sweet.
Nice image. I like it.
It's a good one for a road.
Thank you, Google search.
To get down to Fire Down, which means basically traveling along the roads doesn't take very long to traverse the country, which is probably a good thing to note if you're going to be worrying about travel times to anywhere. So it takes about a day. It's now fairly dark out, so you're not seeing too much of the city itself. As you're traveling through just a nice big road, you can see various buildings lining the roads of Fire Down. You can't really make out too much details because it's dark out and it's kind of crowded. People are walking everywhere, and the carriage pulls up to the castle itself, where the doors then open in your carriage, and you're allowed to get out and directed inside. All right.
All right, so we're directed inside. Is there anyone in here?
Yeah, there's the guards there that are direct. The guy that basically pulled you down from the port city in the first place is bringing you along. There are guards inside. I figured I'd give you a moment to decide if you wanted to do anything in particular. Sorry.
No. I'll definitely mind my manners in this place. I'm not messing with anything.
Because the Minotaurs are taller than any
Wrong
of you.
check.
Yeah.
What do I see?
All right. You appear to be in a lushly appointed entry hall. It'd be big for human standards, because it's on a Minotaur scale. So the tables are bigger than what you'd be used to. There are, bits of tables and chairs lining in certain areas of the entry hall. There are some tall Minotaur guards wearing metal armor of various kinds, helmets with room for their horns. They're standing at attention, holding, what do I want to call them? Partisans, the big spear staff things?
Mm-hmm.
The partisan, right? They're standing at attention. They're not really paying attention to you any more than any other guard would. They're not giving you any special attention. One of the things you might notice about Minotaurs compared to standard like humans, elves, dwarves, is that the Minotaurs have a slightly, though not not the bad form of cowish smell. You ever been to like a farm and